Hello everybody and welcome back to another Space Engineers video. Where today, as the title of this video may give away, I want to mess about with trying to design a hollow tile. Now what is a hollow tile? It is basically it's a creation made by Disney to create an omnidirectional floor. Omnidirectional basically means no matter what, it can move in every single direction. It seems like the main use case of it is especially with things like VR, where you can walk around in a virtual space but stay still within reality, I guess you could say. I'll put some videos on screen so you can sort of see the floor that I'm trying to replicate. And whilst you see all this, I will also say I am very much inspired by Scrapman's video, another YouTuber. He plays a lot of a game called Scrap Mechanic, and he was trying to replicate this same floor in that video. And yeah, I'm not going to try and say that, you know, I'm not trying to copy him or anything. I was really interested with it, and it really perked up my idea of trying to make a mechanism which can work. Now, Scrap Mechanic has the problem of it doesn't like a lot of bearings. With his video, he could only make a very small floor before the whole game started to lag. I'm hoping Space Engineers may be a little bit more stable. We'll have to see. I know, or from my understanding, I've played both games. This game has a little bit better physics simulation in terms of optimize for better sort of PCs. Where something like Scrap Mechanic, no matter how good your PC is, it's the game which lags, not your computer. So okay, so that's my intro rant complete. Next thing I want to try and work out, like I said, is the mechanism. So in Scrapman's video, he created a 4-pronged sort of setup. So the wheel would get pushed in 4 different, like in each 4 corner. The problem with that is, which he did actually say, that if none of the pistons were extended, the whole floor would sink down by an amount. And from the looks of it, it doesn't work quite like how he did it. Say, his idea was, let's have 4 corners like that, and then the wheel sits directly in the middle, like that, right? And then each of the corners can raise up, and then the wheel itself spins. From what I can tell within what they show you from the promotional thing from Disney, it looks like it's actually just a stationary angle, and then the whole bottom twists. So that's what I'm going to try and create. And I think that will, you know, solve the problem with the height changing. The other thing I have sort of seen, so some people have sort of discussed how this whole thing would work, and it seems like it's a cone. And this circular bit at the top is what spins, and then the rest is how the movement works. Okay, so the first thing you sort of have to decide is the wheel layout. Now, this design here seems to be the closest to what the Disney pattern is. It seems to be a lot of hexagons all together. So this would be a design which works. So this is using the 2x2 wheel because it's got the offset, and it makes a very even distribution all the way around. If you try and use bigger wheels, as you can see, you just physically can't get them close enough. So this is just one angle offset, and it leaves so many gaps, and no matter how you do it, it's wrong. So I understand why Scrapman decided to just do a square grid, but I think I'm going to try this. So, and again, I'm going to do this video slightly differently. So most of my videos, when it comes to designing things, I do them off camera, and then make a video showing my final results, showing them what I've managed to make. This way, I'm going to do it real time, so I'm actually going to, you know, skip certain bits, but I'm trying to show you the build process and my thought process throughout the entire design. But we'll see how it goes. I guess if it doesn't work, you're never going to see this video. Okay, so my first idea is if I get a rotor, put one there. And let's make sure that I have a battery on this. Oh, wait, I do. Cool. If I then do something like that, maybe? And then if I put a angle on it, will that work? And then I put that on there, and then I guess, oh, okay. Right, I've just thought of a problem. So if I do it like this, I'm never gonna get... the 2x2 wheel can't sit in the center, because it's a 2x2, it's not a 3x3. Okay, that's not to worry. Okay, so what if I... Let's just see if this design works, right? So my design, my idea is I can angle this at, like, I actually don't know how much angle you're supposed to have, like, because the way this wheel, or the way this whole omnidirectional thing works is you have a spinning wheel always. The wheel always spins the same direction, and it's about what side contacts the item above it. So as you can see here, the wheel is spinning clockwise from this point. Oh, the wheel's spinning clockwise. So if anything was on top of this part of the wheel, you can see it would come into contact, and so it'd go that way. And then the whole idea, from what I can tell, is if you have a thing spinning, as you can see now, it would be going that way, it'd be going that way, it'd be going that way, and it'd be going that way. That makes sense? And it would work the same if I rotated it the other way. No, it's a bit harder to see, but no matter what, you can sort of see it's still rotating in the directions when the part of the wheel is at the highest point. And then the whole idea is you lay out lots of them like over there, and the whole item moves. So that's one design. However, I don't actually think this is a good design. Because of a wheel. Ooh. Okay, I've got another idea. I get a new idea. New plan. Okay, so this might even be simpler than that design. If I get a rotor, and I put the rotor like that, and I get a wheel suspension. I'm actually glad I had that in my inventory. I meant to only get a wheel. That works. And if I make it a 2x2, like that, and if I then that like that, so I set that to 100% strength, and then if I can angle this, can I? I can steer override it. Yeah. Okay, so what if I steer ride it over 100? That does the same thing. So that's now got the 2x2 wheel. It's got the 2x2 wheel within that grid. Okay. Can I make this work on a grid then? If I put this down here and I delete all of these, can I copy that onto that just so I've got a copy of it? And then if I put okay, let's make sure that I've got a battery on here as well. So let's say that is the center of that bit. Put one there, one there. Put one there, one there, one there, one there. That makes a grid. Exactly like that. Ooh, I like this. This might actually work. Right, so one like that, one like that, one like that. And then what do I have to do here? Oops. I just blueprinted it. Cool. Oh, I didn't mean to blueprint this entire thing, but cool, cool, cool. Okay, so like that. Bye! I was making a compliment before of how physics is stable. Whoa. Can I delete you? Thank you. Okay. New idea. Let's attach it to a bit of a solid base that can't just space out. I hope that's not going to actually be a problem. Okay, so that creates a grid. So I can delete that, and I can delete that. Okay, so just to check out. So that was that 9? It's 9. Is it a 9 by 9? It is. Okay. That's actually quite nice. Okay. So the next thing consider. Well, you know what? Let's style this a little bit. Why not? Okay. That really doesn't look symmetrical. Like, it doesn't look equal. Is this equal? I guess not. It's just because there is more of a gap between the top than the sides. That'd be right. Okay, so let's do a little. What, have I got weather? It just got very dark. Yes, there we go. Okay, so let's attach some stuff over here. Let's make sure that we have a battery just for safety reasons. Do I have 2? Oh, don't want a button. I want a control thing. Okay, so if I go onto the wheels. Okay, so what can I do in the wheels? This thing I want to do, can I go down to like 60%? Can I go to 6? Can I go to 0.6? Good. And does that just make it hit a little less, or is it hitting more? I actually have no idea. Okay. Let's go for the wheels. Right, so the next thing I need to consider. So we've got propulsion override, speed limit. Let's set the speed limit to what? 0.5. And if I set the propulsion to 0.1. Okay. This actually works. Right, so now, if you know what, let's just grab this. If I put this directly on here, you can see it moves left in relation to my current angle, because all of the things are angled, so all of the wheels are going that way, right? That, I hope this makes sense. If I make a little bit of a smaller... Make a 5 by 5. Let's make it a little bit thicker. And let's make it yellow. Okay. So let's grab our yellow block. Angle it so it's directly in relation to the same grid. If I put that there, you can see it goes sideways, more or less. It does look like the wheels are struggling a little bit to push. If I increase friction, I increase the power. Does that make it better? Okay. What about if I increase... I don't want to increase the speed limit, but if I increase the override, does it make it... Why are some wheels spinning a lot faster? That is weird. Okay. And now if... let's just delete that one. Now if I place that. They struggle a little bit. Does this get affected if I increase the angle back? If I put that like that. As you can see, only the edges are actually touching this block, and that's why it's moving. Okay. Right, so now let's stop by propulsion. Let's put the block directly in the middle-ish. Right, so the block, yeah, more or less in the middle. Now, so that's just moving left. Now, if I set all of the rotors, all the rotors to spin. Let's set a velocity of, good velocity of 10. As you can see, all of them spin now. If I then get the wheels and give it a propulsion override of 0.5. Why did it fall off? Is it just too small? There you go, look. You can see the block is staying on, and as the wheels spinning, it can keep itself on. Also, I'm getting absolutely no lag whatsoever from this design. And the advantage with this design is I could expand it. Right? Like, this module, if you imagine this corner here is just added onto there, you know, stack it all up, you can make loads of these modules. Looks like it does fall off eventually. It's actually pretty cool. Now, the one problem with this is I don't think there's any scripts in the game that I know of that I can control the direction of a... Actually, do I have any scripts where I can control a rotor? Let's get a programmable block quickly. Do I have any... edit scripts. Script? There we go. Do I have any rotor... See, I don't really, like... For this to work, I would want a script which I can... Oh my god, this actually might work. set rotor defaults. So what I would want to do is I would want to use that script and set the rotors in each. So you'd have 0, you'd have 0, 90, 180, and 270 for the 4 positions of it going up, down, left, right. Or maybe you would even have diagonals. I don't know how that would work. But then you could set it up to 3 buttons. So let's say W, A, and D. And if you hold W, it would pre-angle it to that side, and that would actually work. But like I said at the start of this video, I do obviously want to make sure you're aware of the other channel, Scrapman. I'm sure, you know what, if you've heard of me, you've probably heard of him. Very good channel, I highly recommend go check his stuff out. But yeah, this design is actually quite cool. Obviously, the idea of this you wouldn't just be spinning around in circles. So at this particular angle, so where at the start it was all going that way, at this particular angle, all of them are angled this way. And that's how you create an omnidirectional thing. Yeah, I like the design. I might actually have to make another video where I expand upon this. That's where I'm going to end today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, as always, remember to hit the like button. It helps me out more than you think it does. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. As always, my name's been Quantum Chief, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye! Wee!